Good morning and welcome back to Derbyshire. I'm talking quietly because I'm actually surrounded by rabbits at the moment. I think they're heading for the allotments, which are just over here. Shh. Well, today I'm parked in the village of Hathersage, which is in the Hope Valley, and the plan today, just a short walk. We're going to go from Hathersage behind us all the way up to the famous Stanage Edge, which is, although you're not be able to see it at the moment, but it's in this direction up here. So it's a long walk uphill and hopefully some spectacular views. Now, let's have a look at the weather. It has been a bit of a heat wave in the UK at the moment, so we're out very early in the morning. What time are we on now? So look, I've got to watch. It's just gone 6 o'clock. So we're out early, so it's nice and cool at the moment, but the forecast temperature is anywhere between 20 and 30 degrees, so I think a morning walk's probably the best time to go walking. So let's go and see what we can see. Hathersage back down there. This is the path that I'm following. Now on the way back today from Stanage Edge, I'm going to call in the church at Hathersage because it's the burial place of Little John. Now I'm presuming you must know Little John because he was Robin Hood's sidekick. Now if you don't know Robin Hood, where have you been? So we'll have a look at that in the churchyard on the way back. In the meantime, I'll work my way up this valley, so look at the view. In fact, you might be able to see the church over there, which we'll be visiting on the way back. But anyway, I'll leave you with the view. Best get cracking. Oops. Bit of blue sky. Fingers crossed. Views are starting to open up a bit now we're getting a bit higher. Hathersage is in that direction. This is this quite nice easy path that we're following from Hathersage. You can probably just see in amongst the trees over there the great Stanage Edge, which is where we're heading. Morning. You say hello? Not sure, are you? Yeah, well, exactly. It's no wonder I'm surrounded by rabbits. Rabbit warren there, and all the evidence to go with it. Hello. I'm not so sure this is the outfit you want in this weather. Bless him. Into the dark woods, come on. do. You can actually see Stanage Edge now, which is where we're heading. Now what's interesting, this cottage just here is called Bronte Cottage, and just behind it, and I appreciate it probably won't show up on camera, that's North Lees Hall just behind, which has a very big Bronte connection, but more on that later when we work our way back down from Stanage Edge. Right, let's crack on. We've got a lovely shot of this Bronte Cottage just through the trees here. I won't go any closer because I don't think it's fair to film someone's private residence, but I'll drop a photograph in and you'll see a bit more about it. More gates. Just thinking, when we set off from Hathersage, back in that direction, it was quite cool, about 10 degrees. As we've walked up the valley, it's quite notable. You're walking through pockets of warm air, and the further we've got up, the warmer it's got. Just approaching quite a nice house actually, we'll see it in a minute. Yeah, it's getting quite warm now, but let's just have a look at where we are. We're getting a good view of Stanage now. Quite a good view. I'm not sure it'll show up on camera, but I'll look. There, Stanage. Well, that's where we're heading anyway. And there's a bit more of Stanage over there. It's quite a long ridge. So that's the wood that we've just come through and the bridge I've just crossed. But yeah, it's turning out to be quite warm, and despite the clouds it's starting to clear. Right, come on, let's get cracking. Sun's just starting to poke out now, starting to get quite warm. But now that the view's opened up, you can now see the mighty Stanage Edge, which goes all the way along there, above that wood, all along to the very end. Now, for those of you that are familiar with Stanage Edge, you may have seen those pictures on the internet, or if you Google search it, of all the abandoned millstones. Well, that's in that section over there. I don't think we're getting that close to that today, because I think we're coming back down. We'll reach the top overhead there somewhere, skirt the edge of this wood, and work our way back down. And work our way back down the other side of that hill there, back into Hathersage. But I'll leave you with a view. Not so sure this will show up on camera, but the sun's just picked out the church in Hathersage just along the left edge of the spire. I don't suppose it'll show up on the GoPro, but when we come back down from Stanage, that's where we'll be going. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. Crikey. Well, we've left the grazing land behind, obviously all the sheep and things, left the valley behind, and we're now on to the climb up to Stanage Edge itself, and this is the view that opens up for us. So I think the plan, this track slowly climbs. I think you can just see it over here. It slowly climbs up to the ridge up there. We'll walk briefly along the top and look at the views, and then I think it's just before this wood we make our way back down again, and then back down the valley in towards Hathersage. Quite the view from up here. We're only halfway up this track. Hathersage in the bottom there, where we've come from, and now carry on up this track to the ridge up there. Never mind looking at me, have a look at that view. Well, I've reached the top of this track, and I've reached the top of Stanage Edge. So less looking at me, let's have a look at this view. I'll turn you around. You can see, is it Hope over there? All the Hope Valley. I'll turn you around, make life a bit easier. Hopefully you can still hear me. The wind slay's hopefully doing its job. That's Hope Cement Works in Hope Valley. Hope Valley at the bottom there. Hathersage in the bottom where we've walked up from. And we're right on the edge of Stanage Edge now, so let's go and have a look on the edge. It's now quite windy, so let's right, there we go. Right, so look at this view. I'm having to hold on to my hat here, it's getting quite windy. So walk a little bit further on. I don't know if you can see the cars on that road over there on the camera, but that's the top of Scotsman's Pack, quite a steep hill. If you're a cyclist you would know it from around here. It goes all the way down into Hathersage and it's quite the climb coming up. As I say, there's Hathersage in the bottom. That's all Hope Valley along the bottom there. And that's Hope Cement Works in there towards Castleton. And you can see the shimmering mountain of Mamtor over there. Just amazing. Oh well, we'll make our way across the top and then it's time to start working our way back down again. But I think, given how warm it is, I think it better have something to drink. I'll leave you with a view. In fact, just looking at it, this road down here and that forest just there, or little wood should I say, that's where we've walked from. So if I start right down the bottom, Hathersage is in the bottom, we've essentially walked up this valley here, up past that wonderful house down there that I've got some photographs of. I'll put those in later, all the way along that wall to the wood, around the far side of that wood over there, and all the way along this track, all the way up to the top of Stanage. It's just amazing today, and the best thing about it is not many people here either. What time are we on? It's 7:51 and there's not a soul about. I'd like to give a shout out to Ben, one of my regular viewers. I need to apologise to you, Ben. Today I'm not carrying the gas stove, I'm not carrying my little stove, I'm not carrying my Stanley kit with the 2 cups in so I can have a cup of tea. I've got no tea making facilities at all. But given the temperature and so on, I've got a small rucksack today, but it's full of just water, maybe the odd snack. But yeah, sorry Ben. Working our way down from Stanage Edge now along this sort of pre-made path. Now the weather's been very dry and the grip's not too bad, but where the sandstone's eroded and it's sort of sandy on top of the rocks, you need to be careful. Oh look, people have mountain bike down here, or up if they're mad. But yeah, just if you come this route, just take it steady coming up or coming down, as it can be quite steep. You can see there's sort of sand over the top of the stones, which makes it quite slippy in places. But yeah, this is the way down from Stanage Edge. Quite impressive. Right, let's crack on down here. That's the last of the stone path that's come all the way down from Stanage Edge. And now it opens up a bit here. Let's get through this gate. And you can see our view back towards Hathersage. I'll shut the gate. Right. I think the plan now is there's somewhere amongst these trees, we'll work our way through the trees back down towards the Bronte connection that I mentioned earlier. So let's go and see. We're just in that wood that I mentioned earlier that we've got to make our way through before we get to the Bronte connection. Okay, so for all you literary fans and bookworms out there, you'll be familiar with the Bronte sisters, Charlotte and Emily. Now, Charlotte visited this area around about the 1840s and she stayed with a friend in the vicarage in Hathersage. But she visited North Lees Hall, which is behind me now. It's now a private residence, so I'm not going to show too much of it, but I will take some photographs. But she used this as inspiration for Thornfield Hall in the book Jane Ayre. So I'll have a quick look and then I'll show you some photos. I'll drop them in afterwards. Right, just making our way back into Hathersage, but the next port of call with the church over here and the burial site of Little John, the sidekick of Robin Hood. for you Robin Hood fans out there. And more importantly, his sidekick, Little John, is buried here in Hathersage. Let's go and have a look. And here we have it. Well, that's pretty much it for today's walk. I'm almost back into Hathersage. It's just a short walk back to where the car's parked. Hope you've enjoyed it. Now you know where Little John is buried, so you know where to come and visit. And if you do visit Derbyshire, by all means enjoy it, but please, please leave no trace. In the meantime, I shall leave you with the view. See you soon.